Hi. Today's stream is it's a little different. It's not much different. It's a little different. We will be doing some 3D modeling. Very simply, what we're gonna be doing today is we will be rigging the Ultra outfit which I released to a different base it hasn't been rigged to yet. It is my goal to make it as easy to understand as humanly possible. I am by no means an expert, and if this stupid little bird can do it, then so can you. That's right. That's what we'll be doing today. Now, it's honestly not as hard as it seems to rig an outfit to a base it's not rigged to, especially if you know how to do it. I found my own way. I'm still learning, and there's definitely things I could probably learn to do better. But, however. I will be showing my way, and I think it's pretty easy and doable. And yeah, if there's anyone in chat who has other thoughts, questions, ideas, memes, whatever, let me know, and we'll have a little look at it together. What we have on Blender here, just to explain where we're starting, is I have imported an avatar and the outfit. So this is the outfit, all of these things. That's outfit, and this is the model. It's the buff bird, which you can get yourself on Jinxxy.com/Skerek. That's right. So this is a model I made a while ago. It's just a buff bird. A few things of note. This model has bun shapes, with which you can pretty gratuitously change what the model looks like, right? And we want to retain those on the outfit as well. And I'll get into how we do that later, but something of note is while you can absolutely do them all by hand, and a lot of the time I end up having to do that, there's something you can do to make it at least a little simpler to begin with, and it's this add-on called shape key transfer. You basically select the source mesh or destination mesh and you let it do its thing, right? Very easy, very simple. You can get it if you just Google shape key transfer add-on. In any case, it'll do the right thing, right? We just want to like make it a little easier on us to deal with this thing, right? Because it's a lot of work, and if you even just like get 2 or 3 to like automatically do themselves, you're already way better off, right? You don't want to be gratuitously doing things by hand. Speaking of that, we're gonna do just that for a little while anyways, which is to say right now we have the outfit and we have the bird, but the outfit is not yet on the bird. So how we're going to do that is we're going to start by scaling down until it's roughly the right size. And this is going to be the part of the stream where we're just like high-key working on this. You can to move things in just one direction, click the shift key and then click the direction you want to go in. Anyways, let me get rid of these bones. We won't need those. So in case you're wondering what those bones are, they're for my avatar, because that's the first one I rigged the outfit to. Anywho, let's get to the business. The way I like to do things is I like to separate out the sections. So we're just gonna work on the bodysuit. We're trying to get it on the body. That's how perfect does it need to be? It's a great question. I once got the very good advice that getting something to 80% perfect is the best way to actually finish something. Because if you get in your head about making something 100% perfect, you'll be there for 10 years and never move on to the next project to actually get better. Best tool in Blender? Grab tool. Grab tool is your best friend. Now, a few things to remember. Always Control S. Hit save about like every 3 minutes, else Blender will crash on you and remove all of your progress. Also, when sculpting, enable mirror mode. You want that mirror on. Otherwise, you're aimlessly doing things in one direction, and then you hate yourself when you have to do it again for the other side. I do definitely prefer Unity work over Blender work, because I feel like with Unity, you get a lot more opportunity to have fun with it, because it's less likely to like massively mess up your progress, for example. And yeah. Also, it's a lot less. I feel like the stressful part of working on something like this is working on the bugs. And by the time you're in Unity, most buggy things have already kind of happened or not happened, depending on how lucky you are. A fun little tool you can use is this. The transparent mode. With transparent mode, you can see how far away your clothes are from the avatar. Now, you don't want them to be too close. You also don't want them to be too far. What's the right medium? Figure it out. It's a bit of a trial and error thing, really. If you have it too close, you are very likely to have clipping. If you are too far away, it doesn't look so good. So it's a real toss-up. I tend to go for like a solid like 5mm. What is that, like a fifth of an inch of air, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, for most parts of the body. The glove here is probably the hardest part, I would wager. Either that or the crotch, depending on the avatar. The hands are hard. If you've ever had an artist friend, they'll have told you as much. Hands are something. They're fun, but they're also very detailed. Do you ever need to use another tool? Sometimes. One of the important ones I find is the smoothing tool. Sometimes smoothing something out can be very, very helpful. Maybe we'll find one of those cases later. Another one that's really good, depending on the size of your avatar, maybe the inflate-deflate tool. It has a little plus-minus depending on what you need. And if you have like a section of your avatar that's much more broad than my model, or whatever clothes you're rigging, or you have a part of the avatar that's a lot slimmer or smaller, that tool is really, really good for that. I'm trying to get the broad strokes first. Although we'll get to it in a second. For now, we need to make sure this thing sits right. Another thing that I like doing is taking it side by side. Right now, I'm not really worried about this side as much. I'm just trying to get this side to be like roughly in the right position. And then we'll move on to the other side after we're done with one of them. Makes it feel a lot more approachable. Gives you the chance to like really have a look at it from different angles. And it feels a little more... It feels less messy than looking at it from like a random angle and trying to make that work. Obviously that still works as well. Like that's just a preference thing. But it works, and I recommend. See, this is the smoothing tool. It works pretty similarly to any of the previous tools we've used. See, I did something I don't like to do here. I made the pauldron look wrong. There's an easy way to avoid accidentally Yeah, hey Goose.
Hello.
I should probably continue my thought before I forget it.
Yes, do that.
There's an easy way to avoid accidentally changing the shape of something you don't want to change, and it's to select it by clicking a little vertice, clicking select to linked, and then in the mesh section, I believe, yes, click the separate by selection tool.
Oh.
And there you go. It's its own loose little part. I can pick it up, move it how I want, or I cannot do that. And for now, we're gonna hide it. Now we can more easily sculpt with this part. Also, changing the size of your brush is a very important thing, depending on what you're working on. Sometimes having a bigger brush is very good for getting the broad strokes, but if you want to do something more precise, smaller brush is your friend. You gotta vibe these things out. Oh, how did you link both legs so they can morph at the same time? That's the little X key here. It's not that I linked the legs, it's that I'm mirroring it on the X-axis. You see, because I changed the way it looked massively from the curves on this model as opposed to the initial one, it's going to fit a little differently. Well, it's okay. I think that just adds to the style. Stylization's important, so it makes things look how you want. It's an important part, the inside of the knee. Any joint is very likely to have clipping, so you're gonna want to like add a bit of an allowance. At least that's what I do to make the rigging go easier later. You know, here's another critical area, the crotch. It will most likely bug out first time you rig it, because the way we're gonna worry about weight painting is we're gonna first use the data transfer modifier to make it a little easier on ourselves. Then we're gonna smooth it out. And data transfer modifier gets a little confused by the amount of stuff going on right here. So it can be a bit tricky. It's basically the same thing applies here as everywhere else. The data transfer modifier tries to go off of what's closest on the original mesh when you first apply it, but then after it's applied, you're going to want to have that allowance that I talked about in the knee here as well, so we're most likely going to have to come back to it after we weight it. How easy is it to add an avatar into Blender? Is it drag and drop situation with the Unity file? Not the Unity file, no, but in your Unity file, you will find something called an FBX. That is what we're going to be adding. Hang on, let me see if I can convince... there we are. So, in Unity, you click on your avatar, you'll find the body base, and then in here, you see the mesh. It's linked to the body. This is in a larger FBX. You can drag and drop this, either into Jinxxy here, or into Blender actually, and then that's how you can get that to work. And then once you have it in Blender, you do the same thing with the FBX included in the package that you got for your outfit. Baba booey, there you go. That's it. Yeah, with the edges, I intentionally left these little ending bits, where there's like a face at the final loop where the clothes just end. You're gonna want to make sure that clothes are somewhat close to the body. Obviously, it's still a real item, and therefore has something that's 10 miles away from a nice middle ground. And speaking of middle ground, where the what do I have to do to this thing? Like, I did not make this an easy challenge for myself, I'll be honest. What have I done? Necklace guy. Necklace, like the thing you wear on your neck? No, just no neck. What the what do I do? Just take it step by step. Yeah, you know what? It's roughly there. Get 80% perfect. 80% perfect. You don't have to remake the entire model. One thing that I rarely do, but that does help, is to actually import the textures. That helps you know how much you're crunching something. Because what you have to do in order to import a texture is a little more involved. You have to go to your material, you have to get it, then you have to set your base color here. We can image texture right here. You have to open it, basically. So as you can see, this is the texture. We don't want it to get all crazy looking, as seen here, because we also don't want to fully retexture it. At least I don't want to. Let's send to edit mode, select everything with the A key, then place it on the D where you want it. We got it. And we can now select both, Control J, join them. They're back. Now we can worry about the rest of this outfit. Actually, also select everything, and since there's separate materials, those two things, we can also hit separate by material. There you go. Now we go into sculpt mode once again. We're gonna hide the rest of the stuff. And we're gonna make this shirt fit. This part's a lot easier. For big morphs, it's good to use a bigger brush. That way the texture stays more intact. Also, you might notice I didn't set it to mirror with this one. It's because it's an asymmetrical object. I would like to have a little bit more control. Another thing to keep in mind is retaining the original design as best as possible, bringing to a different model. In this case, I'm trying to get a similar swoop on this despite it being a much longer line. That makes sense. There we are. It's got it on. We're not completely done yet, because we left behind these things. And we're gonna go ahead and move them to where we want them. Which in this case means selecting by linked for these guys, moving them, rotating them a little, attaching them where we want them. This guy, select linked. I think I want to have it lower, like there-ish. That should be good. What does it look like with the texture? No. We'll put it back where it was. Thank you. And just like that, I can merge these again. Control join. There they are. Time for some shorts. Shoe time. Oh my god, those shoes do not fit whatsoever.
Oh.
Let's change that. So let's save ourselves a bit of a hassle. Select everything, mesh, separate by material. Now we're gonna go back into object mode. We're gonna hide these little guys, and we'll worry about them later. For now, let's just worry about these socks. Yeah, let's put a texture on them while I'm procrastinating. You know, when in Rome. Image texture. Open. Shoes, base color, yes, there they are. Ain't they pretty? Now to actually make them fit. There we are. Rename this back to just shoes. We don't need the 001 at the end. There we are. It's basically there. It's like sculpted now. I might be like, oh, if it's sculpted, yeah, you're done. No, the worst part is yet to come. A few things off the bat before we do anything next. We're gonna select everything from the outfit, aka the armature and all of the things, and then we're gonna go to object, apply all transforms, so it doesn't move away in any which way. We're gonna remove that skeleton for now. We're gonna completely remove it very soon. We're gonna enable the avatar skeleton. We're gonna select all of the outfit first, then the skeleton, then hit Control P with armature deform. And now they're parented, and we can completely delete the weird wing bones. There you go. Different bird, different bones. Speaking of bones, we now have to make it move with it. Because right now, if we go into pose mode, you may notice not a whole lot of movement on that outfit. We're gonna fix that. It's gonna be so epic. Don't need that armature anymore, because that's the old armature. Then we're gonna add the data transfer modifier. Use the source of the body. Vertex data, vertex groups, generate data layers. We're gonna do this a few more times, don't worry, I'm going fast because we'll do this for every single item. And then we hit apply. Hit save, just to make sure it refreshes, and also so we have saved it. Same thing here, don't need this one. Add the data transfer. Beautiful. Same thing here. Sometimes it helps to put the modifier up top. It's a good thing to do. I didn't always do that there. Usually it's not a big deal, but we may notice some funny shit because of it later. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Sure, data layers, hit apply.
Ignore the...
Okay, so now that we've done all of that, which was just click a few buttons, most of it's already rigged. Now you might notice a few things, like, hey, why the heck is that zipper getting long when I move my arms? That's what we're about to fix. Don't worry, it won't be like that for long.
I'm not looking forward to painting my own model.
Look at the crunch, and it's entirely messed up as always. Every single time.
Of course.
I'm just gonna make this guy do some funny little moves so we can see everything wrong with it. Give me the toe bow.
How often do you put your little models in like stupid poses? Just
Every
for the
time,
amusement?
just to be sure.
Every single time?
Every single reliably. Right, let's see what we can do about this. I think first things first, a lot of this can be sculpted out, while we're also going to smooth it out in the weights. A lot of the time, finding these little spots where we can have a little bit of allowance still is a pretty good call. Also, the bones are getting annoying, so I'm going to get rid of those for now. There's also, you can customize your blender, you can have your bones be transparent, but I like seeing them when I need to see them. And we just go through every single vertex group until we find what's fucked. There we are. Let's worry about the shape key transfer. Like I said earlier, there's a whole boatload of shape keys on this thing, and we don't need them all, but we do want some of them to work, right? And in order to make that work, we can manually add shape keys and sculpt them in as well. And I do that, and we are still most likely going to have to do that for some of these. But there's a fun little trick you can do with this add-on. It's called Shape Key Transfer. If you Google it, you'll find it. It's also linked in the very beginning of this chat. I can probably see if I still have it copy-pasted. I do. It's this one. The one I use anyways. And it makes it possible so you can just select a source mesh and a destination mesh. And then this is the part where Blender gets fun, because no matter what, it will just freeze for the next like minute or so. Because I'm going to click transfer shape keys, and then there you go. Nothing responds anymore. It's beautiful, isn't it? For me, the screen is turned entirely white, but it's doing its thing. This is normal. Oh yeah, also this happens. Once it's done crashing, everything looks a little fucked up, because every single shape key is basically enabled. So you click this little X icon on the thing, and it resets. And now we have all of these, which in theory should do as they should do as advertised, at least to a certain degree. Some of them are going to be kind of ass, and we're going to have to remake them, but that's okay. For now, let's worry about, okay, so the basis. Yeah, all of these are from the default. Then we have some of the face blend shapes. You don't need those. You want to keep these for the outfit itself to not break up until shorts on. Yeah, don't need any of this. These are just expressions. We've got the body. These are the important ones. And then we've got, for some reason, some random ass blend shapes we do not need. And now we repeat the same thing for all of the rest of these things. Oh, what the hell happened to his hips?
Because you need to explain what happened to the bird's hips.
Yeah, so, he got hit by several bricks, repeatedly.
Bro went to the baker's and came out with cake.
It's true, it's true. We've got some blend shapes. I wonder how they shape up. There's a few that are a bit more important than the others, because they're actually used on the base version of the avatar as I'm uploading it. So, let's make sure that those are as good as they can be. You can transfer what the blend shapes are in Unity to Blender by just remembering that what is 100% in Unity is 1 in Blender, because one is a percentage thing and the other one is like out of 1. 1 is 100% basically. This shape key transfer thing, it's not exactly the smoothest. So this is where our smoothing tool becomes our best friend. At some point you might also make the case that it's better to just make them yourself. But with how many bases I rig, with this, and yeah, just time spent on something that most people never see, because that's at the end of the day what most blend shapes are. Most people don't change the blend shapes of their avatar. Whatever you have, you have. So apart from like V-zymes and everyday blend shapes that are animated, a lot of it is relatively invisible work. So taking a little bit of that away, but yet still having it compatible, nice enough for it to actually work. It's really neat. So that's sort of my philosophy with these. That's where this 80% perfect thing comes in that I was talking about previously. Like that, we have most of it done. Okay. Let me reset the blend shapes, make sure base is selected and everything, and export, and then we can... Oh my god, it's already been 2 hours and 47 minutes. I mean, this is basically it. After this, all you do is throw the FBX where it belongs. Now lastly, since we only want to export, I do believe we're probably going to do a second stream where we just do the Unity part of it, which might be much shorter, to be honest, but if it is, then we just game after, and I'm honestly very down for that. It has been like almost 3 hours right now, and I need my rest soon. But for export, what I like to do is enable the armature, disable the body. What we have enabled is important. Have all of these enabled. Make sure basis is selected. Everything else is at 0. You can make sure it's at 0 by clicking the little X button. And just like that, we're gonna go ahead and export by hitting File, Export, File, Export FBX. Yes. I don't know if this export window is showing up. I don't think it is. But basically what we're going to select is limit to visible objects in the include section. And then also what I like doing is making the path mode copy and then clicking the little box next to the copy icon. Of course, the other important thing, and you're going to want to make sure this is double checked, is going all the way down to armature, expanding the section, and disabling the add leaf bones section. Then name your model. I like to add the version to it, because when in doubt, you will find rigging issues later. That's why we test our models, and issues are there to be fixed, so we'll go back and make a new version later. So I'm gonna export Buffbird Ultra Outfit version 1 into my chosen folder, and remember, no leaf bones, only visible objects. There we go. Exported. What does the add leaf bones thing do? Basically, it just adds an extra bone to the end of every bone section. So if you were to like expand the armature, you find an end bone at some point, and after that, it would add an end bone, and we don't want that.
Yes.
We don't want end bones by the time we're done with the model.
I've had it screw over a virtual production before.
Yeah. No, they get really annoying. We don't want that. Now it's exported, and now you can throw that FBX into your Unity. But yeah, with that, I wish everybody a lovely evening. Thank you all for coming by. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for bearing with me with not understanding text-to-speech. I gotta get better at that. I gotta find a system for that. All right. Take care. See y'all. Bye-bye. We're gonna do some Unity and make it all work beautifully. Now, what do we do if we've got an FBX, but don't have it on our avatar yet? That's right. We import that into here. Very simply, we're gonna drag in what we got for the packages from the listing. So for the Ultra outfit, if you've bought it, if you bought the Rig It Yourself version specifically, or any of the versions, it actually comes with all of them, there's a package called Ultra Outfit Matte. And we're going to be basically getting that ready, getting our FBX ready, and ba-ba-booey. We'll put it all together beautifully. Now, you're going to grab your Ultra Outfit Materials Unity package, or whatever it is you have for the outfit, and import it. After that, we're also going to prepare our FBX file that we prepared in last stream, where we rigged the outfit to the model. We're gonna import that into a new folder we're gonna create in the Ultra outfit thing called FBX. And we'll just drag and drop that right in here. There it is. This is the thing we did last time. Now what we're gonna do, very simply, is place that onto our avatar. We're gonna ignore the quest version for now. It's basically the same process, just different materials. Which, by the way, the materials are all here. Poyomi and quest. It looks a little different, and you might be like, oh, everything's clipping. No, this is because this thing has blend shapes applied and this thing doesn't. That's okay, though, because we're going to deal with just that by just adding a component called blend shape link. It's a VRC Fury component. It does exactly what it says on the tin. All we have to do is type in body to the name of the skin mesh object that we're going to be merging to. That's the case on most models. Some it might be slightly different, in which case just figure out what your body is, the thing that you actually want to kind of shape things around, you know? And we just drag and drop our items in here. Then another thing that's important is I'm not being dyslexic, but no, an armature link. You might notice we have our own armature in here. There's an armature in here. We want to link them. Both of them are supposed to move at the same time. The outfit shouldn't be T-posing while your avatar is moving. And that's what we add the armature link for. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Then, I already have a preset for this somewhere, but we're going to be making it from scratch real quick. The toggles. There's different ways of doing it. You could, in theory, just add a big toggle that toggles the entire outfit. You could, in theory, just not add any toggle and just have it always on. But for the sake of this, for the sake of fun and joy and happiness, we're going to go through making it fully from scratch. However, first, let's add those materials because I got distracted halfway through, like a real bird brain.
Bird brain.
Yes. These are the shorts. Add the bodysuit. This is the accessories. That's the shoes. Accessories again. And the third accessories. There we are. Yeah. I think double check. Poyomi. Poyomi, Poyomi, Poyomi. Cool. This year around there's no official virality shaders, sadly. But we make do. I like these. I did manage to lower the texture resolution on the Ultra outfit without affecting the appearance too much. Yeah, but the avatar size down. Yeah, texture size makes a massive difference. I do recommend doing it. I do like having the base being higher because I feel like it's easier to crunch down than it is to scale up. You know what I mean? That's always been my personal philosophy. It's hard to add detail when it's already gone. Meanwhile, just removing it takes like 2 clicks. So, good on ya. Happy to hear it. Highly recommend that too. Oh yeah, right. What were we doing? We added the things. Now toggles. Yeah. Oh hey, toggle. Yeah. Is that what I'm going? Yeah, it works. We're gonna be doing the body suit. That's going to be our toggle object. We're going to want this save between worlds, otherwise everybody has to always toggle it. So, obviously we're going to want to toggle the bodysuit object with the bodysuit toggle. Now I don't suppose we have any clothing hidey things on this. No, we do not. That's okay. We'll just have to have faith in our rigging from last stream. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nightmare. Anyways, moving on. Let's continue this. An easy way of streamlining making toggles is just to hit copy component and then paste component. Really makes things a little faster when you don't have to manually do it all. We're just gonna rename it to shirt and drag and drop the shirt in. Same with the shoes. We'll add more detail to this later. So the shoes. This is a shoe. And these are the shorts. There we are. Now, if I remember correctly, we have a blend shape for this, which is shorts on. We have a blend shape for this, which is shoes on. Although I believe the shoes on is kind of useless and unnecessary. If anything, it might break more than it might actually do anything. But I feel like testing it. Because, I mean, there's not a whole lot of clipping that's... Well, actually, on this model, maybe, because it actually does have a joint here. But any other model, it's most likely kind of irrelevant. Hang on, this one's called Crop Top On, yeah. Okay. That's the very basic parts done. There's most likely going to be some clipping. This is the part in the thing where the actual bug testing begins in our usual processes. If we're lucky, everything works beautifully. 9 times out of 10, though, the Unity and Blender gods will hate everything you've ever done and stand for. But we'll find out. I mean, who knows? Maybe we're in luck this time, eh? Hey. Okay, and in order to find that out, before I do anything else, there are more toggles that can be made here, especially in the bodysuit. There's like a bajillion blend shapes I added. Yeah, I should have probably considered keeping the original texture of the bird instead of having the outfit texture on, but yeah, you can see some of the issues already, but those are for later fixing. That being said, for the most part, like, it's there. Even the beans are there, surprisingly. Wow. Look at that dude. Let's give him the glasses. Hell yeah. I'm not particularly a fan of how scrungly a lot of this is. You can tell it was kind of rushed into a 3-hour stream. Oh, no way. Ah, crazy. You can. That's how you know I didn't do any off-camera mining for this one. Just straight out of last stream into this. But honestly, it's not looking terrible. Like, the issues are minimal, they're fixable. Let's just take some smoothing, really. Yeah. You're alright. And after we do this, in theory, this is the part where we go back and forth between Blender and Unity a lot. I'm not going to be doing this in this stream because I feel like it's relatively self-explanatory. Do what we have been. Take the pointers from the issues you find. What's more important to explain, I feel like, is how to make more toggles for stuff. I'm going to just do the very basics here, basically. I'm just going to yoink it again. Copy component. Paste component as a new. And now we're going to be doing like the... I swear I just heard something. Oh, well. Surely that still works, right? Come on. Yeah. Alright. That one didn't break, thank God. And now, basically we're going to be toggling the arm. I called it pauldron because it's a word I've seen around for those kind of things. It's just like, it's the little protector on the arm. And we've got a blend shape for that, so we're going to be animating the blend shape. We're going to remove this item because we're not toggling anything specifically in that sense. We're just changing the mesh. Yee. That's the very gist of it. Like, in theory, all you need is these funny little toggle components. Yes, you could also manually make them, but with VRCF it's a lot easier, and I feel like more modular. It's easier for me to like make a preset with it as well for people to drag and drop and all that. You could also use modular avatar if that's more your thing. It's more geared at the Japanese market, and my Japanese isn't all that good. That being said, it works basically the same way VRC Fury does, with some minor differences. I've on some of my models that I have used modular avatar on, it definitely has its ups as well compared to VRC Fury in some ways, and VRC Fury has its ups compared to it in some ways as well. But they're basically doing the same purpose. Here we are. That's very basically what we do. If we wanted to make it a prefab, we could just drag and drop this in here, and there you go. There's a prefab. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of all you have to do in Unity. That's why I like Unity more than Blender. See what we did in, like, what was this, like 30 minutes versus 3 hours?
Yeah, 30 minutes. Wow.
Yep. That's it. Well, okay. Take care, everybody. I'll catch you guys soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. Cheers.